So I've already done all these, so I'm not really worried about saving. Again, you go through all of these and learn all of the basics. And we're just going to do it. We're just going to go through all of them. Enemy forces have been spotted in the Ilaria Mountains. Our HQ is another area. We believe this is a covert attack. Covert attack? That sounds like something Olaf would try. The goal is to take out these units. You've been given 4 infantry units to carry out this operation. Let's go. Terrain intel. So this is where we're going to learn about the different terrains, mountains, plains. The enemy has deployed some mech or mechanized infantry units. This could be trouble. Mechanized units have more firepower than your standard infantry do. You won't be able to defeat mech units in direct combat. So you'll have to use the terrain to give some defense cover. I'll explain about terrain features as we go. Select infantry unit, please. Okay, let's review what we've learned so far. Order the infantry unit to fire. We're gonna come over here. Fire, fire. 5 damage. Okay, cool. Excellent. Okay, select this infantry unit next, please. Now she's gonna show us. Oh, now that I'm in the mountains, we're gonna do something different. Till now, the highlighted move area of infantry was 3 spaces. Well, the mountain is less. Movement cost is double here. This means your movement rate will be half of that on the plains. You think that means you should avoid the mountains? That would be a very serious tactical error, particularly because you're going to get a big bonus. Big boner. Mountains offer advantages that compensate for movement costs. You'll understand once you fire on the enemy. Go ahead, engage the enemy and fire. So you're going to get, as you can see, the plains had a 1 defense priority. It's not going to let me back out now that I've selected this, but mountains, I believe, are 3-star defensive bonus. You'll be able to see it in here. Okay, it's 4-star defensive bonus. So as you can see, dealt the same amount of damage to the overall unit, because those units obviously are on the same terrain, the same type of unit, they're being engaged with the same type of unit. But because I had a defensive bonus in the mountains, I get to take less damage, which is very advantageous, particularly when you're taking on larger, stronger units, stronger tank units, I would say. This is because another terrain feature called the defensive cover. You attack the enemy from the mountains, right? Defensive cover in mountains is this number here, a 4. Defensive cover in the plains is this one, 1. The higher the defensive cover rating is, the less damage you'll take. Is that clear? Good. I knew you were a quick study. Go ahead and fire on the remaining infantry units. Select N when you're finished. So I think I have free reign here to make my own choices. But basically what they're going to try and show me here is that this mech unit, they're not as affected as the infantry unit is in terms of their movement cost. So they're going to probably tell me in the next turn, this guy can move 2 spaces, he's not affected, and blah, 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 blah. But this is a smart, I think this is a smart engagement, personally. You're wiping out an enemy unit below, and then the mechanized unit is going to try to take on this infantry, full HP infantry, is not really going to have the same defensive bonuses that I'm going to get. So we'll see how this plays out, but I think this is a smart move. Whereas down here again, they're trying to get me to come over here, deal damage. Oh no, the mechanized, he's a bit stronger, so he's gonna do more damage. I was playing normally, I'd just drop him here, he'd be short, and I just sort of play from there. But we'll play into the game, I guess, a little bit here and take out this unit. It's a calculated calculated risk. Our turn. Oh, you spotted my troops, have you? That's pretty good. But this time, things will be different. You'll learn what it means to face mech units. Watch your back from... I'll just keep watch from back here. Oh boy. Guy's a real hero. No need for me to actually be in the field. I'm still in charge, though. So he's gonna move up 2 spaces. He do 58 damage to me. But he does a little bit more damage than I would. You can see I took 4 damage there. Which I can probably... well, the computer's probably gonna force me to... gonna show me how to combine units together, so... 2 different units can combine together and make a bigger buffer unit. A2. It's your turn. Mechanized units really pack a punch, don't they? But if you notice, one infantry unit took less damage than the other. You know why? Because of the superior dense defensive cover. Remembering this is vital. You should also keep in mind the movement cost differs between units. For example, mechs and infantry units have different movement types, so the respective movement cost in mountains are 2 and 1. When you need intel like this, place the cursor on space and press the R button. Works for terrain features as well as all unit types. But for intel on unit movement types, costs, etc., remember the R button. Well, I'll leave the rest of the battle to you. You have mech units, but you have superior numbers. Focus on what you've learned, use it well, and victory will be yours. Oh, blah 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 blah. And it's gonna let me. Nope, it's not gonna let me look at the CO. It's gonna let me look at my unit. That's okay. So basically, what they want me to do here is deal damage to 9. Now it's 8 to 4. He'll turn around. He'll do some damage, probably about 3 damage, and he'll be at 1 HP. Now I've got 2 units that are pretty much going to wipe him out. There's really nothing he can do because this is a plains, this is mountains, so even if he moves back 2 spaces, I'll still be able to move up to here to damage him. Let's see here. Yep, still be able to damage him no matter what he does. And then the same thing here. You want me to move in the mountains, deal 3 damage. And then this, again, because I did this, like I said, more or less on purpose. I should attack from this forest here. So the forest has a defensive bonus of 2, which is slightly better than the 1 defensive bonus I have here. 2 damage, 3. He'll be left at 3, and my guy will be left at 3. I think this is okay. Like I said, I wouldn't normally do this because I just the initial engagement that I put myself in with the mech is not favorable to me, so I wouldn't engage it unless I had to. So end turn here. A2. Not really much you can do there. And then she's going to tell me at any point in the battle, you need to stop. There's a way to save. Save prevents you from having to start the same mission over again. You know, it's important to learn this second tutorial mission, important point, so you're not playing the same campaign missions over and over again and wasting everyone's time. Place space on an empty space and press the A button. Ooh. Save command, right? To allow you to save your progress during battle. Use it whenever you need to take a break from a mission. I'll let you decide whether or not to save at this point. Okay, it's just a little more work here, and you should defeat Olaf. Don't let your guard down though. Good luck and move out. I'm gonna save. Save current data. Yes, please. She goes, hooray! But as you can see, it doesn't boot me, or it doesn't really even give me an option to boot me from the game. I'm just gonna use damage. He's dead. Dead. So, as I mentioned before, Advanced Force 1 punishes you for combining units, so as long as you have any surviving units, they count as if they had full health. So there's not really any good reason to combine them at all. And then of course, because Nell's got good luck, it's more or less guaranteed to do the 3 damage I needed him to do. You've done it! These units really were on a covert operation. Thanks to your planning, our troops took minimal damage. Keep up the good work! Arg, another failure. After all my careful planning, another botched mission. Grr, next time I will prevail. So, A rank again, pretty standard. I believe in the original design of Olaf, they make jokes about this in all of the later games, but he was supposed to be like he was supposed to be Santa Claus. He wore like a little Santa Claus hat, little blue moon hat, Santa Claus hat. In the American version, they made some changes. Even though it was the first version, it didn't come out in Japan before it came out in America. It was supposed to come out roughly the same time. It's kind of weird because usually it's the opposite, particularly with earlier video games. You tend to see where Japan would get their version of the Zelda, the Famicoms, Super Famicom, and then, a few months, weeks, whatever, years later, you would see the American release. Particularly if they didn't think it was going to sell in North America, you wouldn't see a release. All the Fire Emblem games up to through 7, which was the one that was on the GBA, are that same breath. They didn't think Fire Emblem was going to work in America, so we didn't get the first Fire Emblem game, or even the really good one. I like Genealogy of the Holy War, which I guess that should go without saying. Like, it's like a meme now. It's like, oh, why don't we get a remake of Genealogy of the Holy War? It's such a good game. It is. It's a good game. It's way different than any of the other Fire Emblem games, and I really like what they did, and I'm really surprised that they never came back to the having giant maps and having to conquer multiple forts on the same map. I kind of get why, because they block you off so you can't like fly over to the enemy's final camp and just sit your units there and just be like, yeah, I know the final boss is waiting right here. I'm just gonna park all my units here, so as soon as I capture this previous base, all the units are just gonna spawn out, and I'm just gonna cap the HQ in one turn. They block you off, so it doesn't really matter in that regard in terms of if you break the big map up into, say, 4 smaller missions instead of trying to capture. But at the same time, like, your units are out of position when presumably you cap that first HQ. Your units are out of position, and then all of a sudden you gotta speed your freaking way up to try to make up for all this lost space between you and the next objective.